Billy back here with Broship of the Nerds. Been quite an eventful couple of days. I finally, over the past couple of weeks, decided to sit down and rewatch the Underworld series. And I will start off by saying these are all highly watchable films, at least for my taste. I like vampires, I like werewolves, and as when I was younger, I was really big into vampires. I still am. Really didn't get into the werewolves as much as the vampires when I was a kid, but after rewatching the Underworld series, I have some fresh thoughts. So today I will be ranking all five Underworld films from my least favorite to favorite. In last place, Underworld Blood Wars. And this movie has a lot of things I like about it. You have a Marius who feels like a huge threat as he has werewolves and they're organized. You have the Eastern Coven, you have the Northern Coven, which is a legend, and Celine is brought in to train a new group of try to make new death dealers, but there's an internal betrayal as well. And I really like the way this went and how it ends with Celine becoming an elder and everything and her daughter returning. I really liked it. It sounds like they have a bright future. You can kind of in your mind say they lived happily ever after, but we know better than that. There were other wars, there were other fights, but the covens would rebuild and get stronger. So I would have loved to have seen a continuation as a TV series. I always felt like Underworld would have been best served as a TV series once you got to a certain point into the films. But Blood Wars is at the bottom of the list, not because it's bad. I just rewatched this. This is my most recent watch. It just, to me, everything with Michael, everything felt rushed with him, and they didn't really. And Scott Speedman didn't want to come back for these films, and I understand that, but it just felt like they kind of rushed through that storyline with Michael. And David, though, one of my favorite characters, he was introduced in Awakening, and I really liked him. Blood Wars, though, there were a lot of great things. The cool final battle, and you had just so many cool ideas here that were executed well. And it's still one that if my friend said, let's rewatch all the Underworlds, I am totally game. It's a marathon. I'm eventually thinking about getting the 4K set just so I can have the best visual because I love movies that are filmed uh, where it's mostly at night or in dark rooms. And I think the picture would pop more in 4K. I have these on all but one on DVD, but I would love to get the 4K. So I think it's like $100 on Amazon to get all five of them, and I would just give these to my dad. But yeah, I really liked Blood Wars overall. In fourth place, Underworld Evolution. Now there's a big build up to meeting different characters within this film from previous ones, and you're like, oh wow, okay. And while the visuals are cool, and you have a flying vampire, which visually this movie is probably one of the best in the series, I just felt like some of the confrontations are anticlimactic. Not saying this is a bad film, once again, I really enjoy this one. High action, you get to see Celine and Michael together more, which I'm always a big fan of. This one, I thought the pacing was good for this film, and I really enjoy the visuals. It just feels like it could have been a little bit better, or it could have had a little more time to breathe. I mean, it is 106 minutes. Maybe if they went to the full 2 hours and built up the final battle a little more, although the helicopter blade kill was epic. So this movie, definitely very good, highly rewatchable for the visuals alone, and I overall enjoy this, but it just isn't my favorite. Next, we have the film that I used to put in last place, but after rewatch, I've come to like it more. Underworld Rise of the Lycans. I used to be very harsh on this film. The thing was, after going back and rewatching it, I'm like, wow, the werewolves were pretty much slaves, treated very poorly. And I really like Lucian. He's another one of those characters played by Michael Sheen, one of my favorites in the series. David, Celine, and um, I just said his name. My mind's slipping today. But yeah, David, Celine, and Lucien are my favorite three characters in the whole series. And you see in this film that Victor, played by Bill Nighy, again, and his daughter Sonia, how far is Victor willing to go to uphold his very narrow views, narrow minded, closed minded, whatever you want to call it. And he is willing to do anything to look strong. And he kills his own daughter in order to uphold his values. And so, right here shows you that the werewolves were wronged and that Victor is an a hole. And I completely side with the werewolves in this film. I can understand why he was being protected, but if he would have just allowed his daughter to go with the werewolf, I think things would have been fine. I would have loved to have seen an alternate world where that happens. Obviously, the shift had to go back to Celine, but this film I came around on. Didn't like it the first time I watched it. Thought it was kind of boring. Upon a rewatch, I'm like, what was I thinking? This is an excellent film. This is one of the better ones in the trilogy. The series. It falls right in the middle. Third place. In second place, the original Underworld. And right from the beginning, we knew we had something special. Vampires, the fights in the train stations, underground. You have Victor, who is awoken early. You have, um, they're trying to stay in hiding and everything so humans don't know about them. But it gets into the origins of their blood feud. And I really like this one. The visual of Victor being hung up to all these cords and then waking tubes and then waking up is fantastic. And this is one that I absolutely love. Just visually, action, story is great. This is how it all starts. And I like that this was the first film. And they hinted at Rise of Lycans a long time ago, even in this film, because of flashbacks that shows you different things. Lucien is said to be dead, but secretly he's working with some of the vampires to actually overthrow Victor and everything and to take control. And of course, it backfires, but I really like the way they did the story in this one. And Celine meets Michael, and it's just so cool. And he has a certain blood type that would allow Lycans to benefit, so they're interested in him. And it just takes you all over the place and is beautifully shot, and they were onto something special when they made this film. And in first place, Underworld Awakening, not going to be the popular choice here, but Celine wakes up, finds out it's been 12 years since her and Michael were frozen, and she finds out she has a daughter, Eve. And there's a new type of lichen that's bigger and stronger than ever, and she has to stop them. The reason I say this is my favorite: action, non-stop action. This is a very fast-paced film. It's actually pretty short. It's like an hour and a half. I put this on last night. I put on Underworld Awakening last night, and the movie was over before it felt like it began. It was just so fast-paced, like boom, 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 action, 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 and I absolutely love it. And the introduction of David and his friendship with Celine, one of my favorite, actually probably my favorite duo in the series with the way they did it. And I liked it a lot. The Weapon Master and the first Underworld had potential to be my favorite partnership with Celine, but unfortunately we didn't get that uh, partnership at length because of like how the story went. But Awakening, her and David teaming up, awesome. Finding out she has a daughter, and like I said, the non-stop action, and then the grenade sequence at the end whenever he goes, I heal instantly, and she goes, I'm counting on that. It just amazing the way they shot that, the action scenes, the battles, the story. The stories to these aren't always the most complicated, but there's traitors and stuff. So if you ever become a vampire, the biggest thing is having people you trust because they betray each other a lot. And that is my favorite of the series just because. Now, a couple of announcements here. Um, Scream 7 will be coming out, and they are doing a late showing in my town Friday night, so I will work and then go see it in the evening, and I'm looking forward to it because I love the series, and I will be doing a Scream ranking this week as well. So look for that soon. I will be doing a Scream ranking of all seven Screams, from my least favorite to my favorite, and we'll see where seven falls compared to the rest of the series. No, I'm not a fan of what they did with Melissa Barrera and then Jenna Ortega, my favorite actress, quitting. But I will still view it as part of the series and try to give it a fair, unbiased opinion because I am not a big fan of what they did. I wasn't going to go see it, and then one of my friends was like, "Yeah, but you know, there's going to be controversy. There's controversy with stores, there's controversy with restaurants, and you have to kind of pick and choose your battles. It can be exhausting to not see things because of certain things." And I was torn on it, but after my friend would talk to me, I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I'll go check it out." But I will be doing that soon. After finishing Underworld Blood Wars, that is now 365 films that I've either rewatched or automatically decided they belong to the collection. So I am finally making some progress. I'm hoping by the end of April I will be at 400 films put into the collection based on what I watch. So I am slowly getting through the films. When Viper comes back down, I have a stack of like 3 to 4 films, depending on time, that we will watch and decide whether or not I want to keep them in the collection. But this has been fun reconnecting with the collection. Obviously, some films I decided not to rewatch because I automatically knew, like Your Name and Field of Dreams, I automatically knew those are staying no matter what. So the films I have in the piles are either I've never seen before, or it's been so long since I've watched them that I don't really remember them that much, or I just want to watch them again and then put them back in. There's some like The Proposal that's automatically going to end up going into the collection. So it's been quite the process. It's probably going to take me into next year to finish up, but I am slowly getting through the collection, and I'm very happy to say that it's working. I'm getting to see if the films work, and I'm getting to see, do I still like this movie enough, or if it's a first time watch, do I like it enough to have it go in the collection? And for the most part, yes. I think there was one film that I said I don't want it in the collection and got rid of it. I donated it to a local movie store. There's a few where I bought second copies, so I'm giving some to my dad or other friends. So if I don't like a film, I either donate it to the local store, or I see if any of my friends or family want it first. But so far, I'm having a fun time with this, and I'm trying not to make it feel like a chore. So I'm not doing it real fast. I'm not trying to watch like 5 movies every day off. I'm trying to watch like one here and one there in order to still enjoy the process. And in the meantime, I'm trying to only buy films that I've already seen, to where I'm not adding to my to be watched pile. I already have enough books and movies to get to, and it's going to take me a long time, especially with the books. But I'm making a little bit of progress, so yeah, we're getting there. But guys, you take care. That's all I have for today.